And shifting focus to the war in Ukraine, United States President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky have clashed once again, this time over Crimea, annexed by Russia in 2014. President Trump has criticized Zelensky for stating that Ukraine will never recognize Russian control of the region. In a post on his social media platform Truth Social, Trump called Zelensky's position, quote-unquote, inflammatory, and claimed it made a peace agreement more difficult to reach. He further said that Crimea was lost years ago and is not even a point of discussion. Trump's remarks come after Zelensky repeated on the 22nd of April that Crimea remains Ukrainian territory and that accepting Russia's annexation would violate Ukraine's constitution. The clash comes amid what media reports suggest is a new U.S. peace proposal on the war, which has not been officially announced yet. The proposal reportedly includes the United States formally recognizing Russia's claims over Crimea. It suggests freezing territorial lines close to their current positions. The plan could also reportedly bar Ukraine from joining NATO. It would allow Russia to retain control of about 20% of Ukrainian territory. Hitting back on the fresh U.S. criticism, Zelensky posted a 2018 Crimea declaration by Trump's then Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, which said Washington rejects Russia's attempted annexation of Crimea. Meanwhile, hours after Trump and Zelensky clashed, Russian missiles struck the Ukrainian cities of Kyiv and Kharkiv, leaving 9 people allegedly dead and dozens injured. Now, since taking office in January, Trump has upended U.S. policy toward the war in Ukraine, pressing Kyiv to agree to a ceasefire while easing pressure on Moscow, which launched a full-scale invasion of its neighbor in 2022. On Wednesday, a meeting in London aimed at bringing about an end to Russia's war in Ukraine had been downgraded after U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said he wouldn't attend. President Trump told reporters later in the day that he thought the London talks had gone pretty well and believed that he had a deal with both Ukraine and Russia to settle the war.
I think we have a deal with Russia. We have to get a deal with Zelensky, and I hope that Zelensky, I thought it might be easier to deal with Zelensky. So far it's been harder, but that's okay. It's all right. But I think we have a deal with both.
Despite this, Ukraine's chief of staff, who attended the talks in London, said Kyiv will stand firm on its core principles during negotiations, as they are the foundation of the country's sovereignty and territorial integrity. By contrast, Russia has welcomed the proposed framework. The Kremlin spokesperson, Dmitry Peskov, confirmed on Wednesday that talks with Washington were ongoing and said that Moscow appreciates the U.S. mediation efforts. Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff is expected to meet with Putin again for the 4th time on Friday. With further meetings expected in the coming days, it continues to remain unclear whether a consensus can be reached between all parties. For now, talks continue against the backdrop of the ongoing fighting on the ground.
Greeting you with aloha and namaste.
I love India.
Presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India, what we saw in Kashmir.
The Prime Minister Modi.
How do you see Trump's America?
Yes, the current administration behaves differently from the previous administration.
Are you saying that there are foreign powers who are trying to bring down the current government in Syria?
Exactly.
Bluntly, Iran, maybe Russia too.
Prime Minister Modi committed to South-South, cooperation.
Not over 50%.
Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.